They come through the tri-oval. That's where the start-finish line is at Daytona. And waving the green flag, Ravens quarterback from Alabama, Marlon Humphrey, sends them off for 500 miles.
Majority out the back, just those two together up top. KB's on you. They're separated up top now. Wide open in front of Mark. Off of you by half. You're clear. You're clear.
It's Chris Lambert, Denny Hamlin spotter.
KB's quarter off of you.
I'm a little surprised we haven't seen somebody. I've seen some gaps and some holes there and some momentum and some big runs that maybe could have allowed somebody to go 3 wide. A little conservative in this opening lap. We'll see what happens in lap 2. Jimmie Johnson gave Mark Truex Jr. a nice big shove to get that lead, and he drops down in front of Denny Hamlin, and now it's Toyota top, or in the front 3. Right there, see Brad Keselowski, Jimmie Johnson connecting. Jimmie Johnson, the back end, but got pretty light on him.
Johnson with a peek outside. NASCAR has mandated Teflon slip tape be applied to the bumpers so cars that can do a little bump and go and not connect and hook each other.
Yeah, it allows those front bumpers to slide around a little bit more. Mike, it's great stuff for about 10 laps. But right here, you see maybe, yeah, right there, when you get to that left rear of the rear bumper, it's a sensitive area. It can really turn the car around. And you know, Brad Keselowski did a nice job backing off of Jimmie Johnson. Jimmy did a nice job of keeping that car going straight as they did hit in an awkward position there. There's the 3 wide I talked about.
Where? Everywhere.
Where?
Yeah.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr., that's where.
Imagine that. 47 way up high, creating a 3rd groove. Got a little help there. Christopher Bell.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're going to need a little bit more help than that. A lot more help. See William Byron's peeking up there also, but it's all about numbers, right? The more cars that are stacked up bumper to bumper and closer to one another, that's the line that's going to move forward. That's the one that's going to have the best draft. And right now, you see that just isn't in the works on that outside 3rd lane.
A green racetrack from all the rain here yesterday. But does that really mean much at Talladega?
Well, I mean, we do see some tire wear here, and the handling might go away a little bit, Mike, is if these guys are pushing and shoving. But where it really adds up is the drivers need a period of time to get used to looking in your mirror constantly, hearing your spotter in your ear, telling you all the information, and also knowing what the car's doing, and also making some moves and trying not to bump drive somebody too hard, turning them around. So that, to me, is the biggest adjustment period for these drivers today.
And here comes Stenhouse. He's brought that 3rd lane right up to the front.
Boy, Jimmie Johnson, Kevin Harvick almost got it together there, but I think what happened was we saw the leaders get side by side, and that stalled them out and allowed that 3rd lane with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. just come flying up through there.
And Stenhouse is there from 20th starting position. And that number 47 on the outside with Martin Truex going up to cover the spot.
While all that's going on, you can see Denny Hamlin being pushed along there by his teammate Kyle Busch in that inside lane.
And on the outside, 3rd, 4th car in line now, William Byron in the 24. From 35th on the grid, right up to the front of the pack.
Yeah, issue for that 24 car going through inspection. Had to go start at the back of the field, but coming forward in a hurry.
And this is why we say it doesn't matter where you start here. In 5 laps, you can be right up at the front, even if you start out back.
Well, it can go the other way real quick.
Oh, yes. And it does. Now, Denny Hamlin has dropped out of the front of that lead pack, Vince.
Yeah, he's led much of this day today, but he has dropped back, and as you indicated, had a little bit of a problem too off of turn 2. He got into the wall a little bit, so he had to gather it back up. But as we come into the end of this stage, just 6 to go, Hamlin hoping that he doesn't have too much damage.
Yeah, you could see the right rear on that 11 car with that scuff where he had brushed the wall. He's slowing down even more. Probably feels like he is going to need to come to pit road, or he's going to have to just slow down enough, but try not to go a lap down. Is the right front down on that car? Yes, the right sides are down on the 11.
He's dropped back to 23rd.
Yeah, so he already, I think, had an issue. This is when the tire goes down. So he had already hit the wall or scuffed the wall there. That's all it took. Right front tire is down.
So Hamlin will make a stop under green. Hopefully no further damage beyond the tire, as Tyler Reddick puts his Richard Childress Racing Chevrolet out front. Boy, we've seen a lot of laps at Talladega when either an RCR Chevy, number 3 or number 8, say from DEI, has been out front here with an Earnhardt aboard. Today it's Reddick's turn.
Pretty good amount of damage out. We got the caution due to rain in turn 1.
Yeah, Jeff, it's over a mile from one end of the speedway to the other, so very easy to have rain at one end of the racetrack while the rest of the speedway is dry. And Denny Hamlin's going to go a lap down.
Might as well change those left sides. They were trying to just change right sides and beat the leader off of pit road, but that did not happen. That caution almost saved them. They just couldn't quite get those right sides off fast enough to beat the leader and stay on the lead lap.
But Jeff, I still think this caution saved them, because now they're one down. They can take all the time they need to some degree, because the field is just now over in turn 2. Take all the time you need right here and make sure that car's right.
Third career stage win for Richard Childress Racing. And driver Tyler Reddick.
That's going to be a nice confidence booster, not just for Tyler Reddick, for those drivers behind him that are looking at that rear bumper and that yellow rookie stripe, knowing that, you know, what he's done in the Xfinity Series and then what he's done here today, as well as at Daytona, showing to these other drivers, hey, you can trust me. You know, I can be your partner, I can be your friend, and I can lead the field. Not much help on that inside lane led by Jimmy Johnson. Here goes Ryan Blaney to the lead inside of Alex Bowman. Kyle Busch going to give Bowman a little help there. Or a lot of help.
Yeah. And we're 3 wide once again.
You can see when they lock bumpers like that, how much they increase speed, but then when they separate, how they slow down and allow Ryan Blaney to now get side by side with that leader, Alex Bowman. Now that third line is developing. That's going to slow down that lane that Alex Bowman and Kyle Busch are in, and Tyler Reddick.
And Busch goes topside to pick up Matt DiBenedetto, who had the run. Might be a good move for Kyle Busch, but he's way up high. While here's Jimmy Johnson taking the short way around with Ryan Blaney.
Tyler Reddick was getting a push from Alex Bowman to get that stage win. Now he's able to give a little help to Alex Bowman and try to get him back up to the front beside Ryan Blaney. 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide. Several rows back. Jimmy Johnson might move up to help his teammate Alex Bowman. Going to give Jimmy Johnson the lead right there.
Oh, and if you were worried about Stenhouse restarting out back, don't worry. He's up to 7th in the outside lane. +8 since the restart. There's Ricky. Penske teammates, they have formed up, and they are going to be a formidable force on the bottom.
Two cars locked up on the outside lane to Benedetto and Kyle Busch. Now those Penske Fords on the bottom were locked up for a split second. I think there was a car, Mike, that was in this middle lane that is led by Jimmy Johnson that decided to go either to the inside or outside lane. That's where they lost all their momentum.
Ryan Blaney on the bottom, who won here last fall. Here's Chase Elliott, who won this race last year. The first 25 cars are covered by 1 second on the racetrack.
And you see here, Kyle Busch was all the way in that outside lane. He moved down to the center lane, was able to get the lead, move down to that bottom lane. He wants to be in front of those strong Fords on the inside, led by Ryan Blaney.
In case you're watching the weather, 26 laps to halfway.
Blaney taking a look to the outside of Kyle Busch. And he gets that lead, brings his teammates right along with him. And another teammate there with Wood Brothers. Number 21 of Matt DiBenedetto. DiBenedetto's, you remember, alliance there with Team Penske. They're perfectly positioned exactly where they want to be.
When those 3, or in this case 4, Penske-aligned cars hook up, they are going to be hard to deal with. Under caution at Talladega with 96 complete, rookie John Hunter Nemechek had an issue coming off turn 4. He's the black car just in front of Austin Dillon. No contact, we don't think, between the two, but see if something flies off Nemechek's car here.
Yeah, everything seems to be fine right here. Right there, you see a piece of debris or a piece of rubber flies off. There's another piece, and this car starts to swerve to the left like it has a left rear tire going down, and he loses control.
And that puts us under the 4th caution of the day, and the first one for an on-track incident.
And there you see that left rear tire clearly down.
So a tough break for the rookie. BJ McLeod will get the free pass on this caution flag, and here they come to pit road. Jamie.
Bubba Wallace in the 43, riding some momentum, finished 13th or better 3 of the last 4 races, and he's been running top 10 here. Bubba's saying, don't touch it. This car is good, and it doesn't matter where I'm driving. It'll be a 2-tire stop for the 43, Vince.
And for the 12 of Ryan Blaney, who won here last year, he pits from the lead. It's just going to be 2 tires for Blaney. Right sides and away, he'll be the first one off pit road.
2 for Chase Elliott, for William Byron. A lot of 2-tire stops here.
Yeah, playing that track position strategy right now, except for the 11 of Denny Hamlin.
So Nemechek brings out the caution flag. We're just past halfway at Talladega.
41's right on you. Wait to the start finish line. You are clear. Wait to the start finish line. Clear low, clear. Back in line with you. That 41's help us 2 off. 2's going to show up from the 22. Coming right on you. The 2 is clear. 22 is clear. Right on you, then 1 off the 2 now. 3 are clear. Right on you, then 1 off of him. 1 off of you, then 1 off of him. 1 off of you, then half off of him. He'll get another push down the back. 1.5 back, getting the push. 1 back, half, corner, right there, right with you. Right with you.
That's Josh Williams, Ryan Blaney's spotter, and look at that. The Penske cars form up 1 through 4.
Boy, they've just been in sync all day long, haven't they, Mike? They even perfectly orchestrated that restart right there to get Blaney in the inside lane right in front of Brad Keselowski.
Christopher Bell hanging right with them, the first Toyota, and then William Byron, the first Chevrolet, in 6th.
And even just that one small move of Blaney going from the outside lane down to the inside lane, look at what it did to that outside lane. Cole Custer, Jimmy Johnson, and Bubba Wallace, boy, they've fallen back, what, 10 car lengths?
Chase Elliott was trying to make a third lane work there. Back at 22nd place. $20 to go in stage 2. There was one of our $1,000 Fox Bet Super 6 questions. Ricky Stenhouse peeks out. Now he's going to lead the outside line.
Boy, look at this going on with the 47 Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in that outside lane being pushed by Kyle Busch. That car was sideways, but still going forward. Sparks flying here through the corner.
35 lead lap cars, all contending here.
Remember, that 47 car, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was the pole sitter at Daytona. We know that's a fast race car. Look at him being pushed down this back straightaway. Wow. Now, had that push been on the left rear bumper, that would have spun Ricky Stenhouse out. But because it's on that right rear, it keeps a little bit of downforce in that car and doesn't redirect the air, doesn't make that left rear get light, and allows him to keep it going straight. But that was some great driving. KESELOWSKI timed it perfect, but then he faded back. But now here, wow, what a huge run and slam to the rear bumper of Ryan Blaney. That's how confident they are in pushing aggressively.
But Kyle Busch gives Stenhouse a big shove on the outside. .197 miles an hour, and you move up or back inch by agonizing inch.
I just keep waiting for it to happen, but it's not happened yet, Jamie.
Well, Blaney told his spotter, hey, tell Brad when I got squirrely, it wasn't as bad as it looked. He said, I can take any push he gives me, and that's what we just saw.
That tells you a lot about that rear spoiler and what it does when it does catch the air. Look at the big run by the 24, William Byron, to the rear bumper, the 47. He's going to the outside, 3 wide for the lead.
Well, look how strong Blaney is on the bottom. Now he's going to get help from his teammates. Whammo from KESELOWSKI.
I mean, they're not going to have any bumpers left on those Penske boards by the time this thing's over.
If Ryan said it wasn't that bad, from here it looked like all arms and elbows inside that 12. Final lap, stage 2.
William Byron had that lead for a split second. Lost a little bit of drafting help.
Well, Tyler Reddick can't quite get to him. And here they come.
And you'd think this is for the win of the race. This is just to the end of the stage.
Gonna be close. Stenhouse. That's what happens when you put the start-finish line another couple of football fields down toward turn 1.
It was definitely different in the middle of the tri-oval, Mike.
That's how close it was for the end of stage 2 at Talladega.
Off you by 1. Still outside, 4 cars on him. Half to the 1. Can't get to you. 4 car is on him pushing.
It's Denny Hamlin's spot.
Still off of you by half. Still outside. You're clear. Big run through the middle with the 9. Half back. Outside. Outside. 1 car coming to your bumper now. Tightening up behind you.
Chase Elliott with a big run to the outside of Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick going to get a big push from Denny Hamlin.
And here's where you hold your breath. Here they come off the corner, 3 and 4 wide behind this group.
Oh, Chris Buescher's going to get shoved to the middle. He just could not get to those lanes. That's how fast the draft comes. And he just couldn't block those lanes quick enough.
See if Blaney goes all the way to the top. Nope. He latches on to Ryan Preece. Preece looking at Chase Elliott in trouble.
An issue.
Kenseth down to the apron, and here comes that outside lane.
We saw Matt Kenseth just jump out of line in a hurry to go down to the apron to slow down.
Elliott and Preece coming to the front.
Well, now Preece might go to the outside of Chase Elliott. Sure does. Well, look at those roof flaps flying on these cars, trying to take a little drag out of the race cars. Ooh, Kevin Harvick almost got into the door of the 12 of Ryan Blaney.
Wonder if Blaney will make it a third lane and bring his Penske teammates with him up on the far side. Yes, he does.
We're hearing a flat tire on the 42 of Matt Kenseth. And here comes Ryan Blaney with that big push from Brad Keselowski in the outside lane.
That's what happened to Kenseth, the red car, the McDonald's car.
When the car gets a little squirrely right there, obviously Matt feels a tire going down.
Jamie.
Matt Kenseth just said on the radio, something's broke, guys. Something's definitely broke. I don't have any brakes.
Oh, boy.
Chase Elliott leads from Kevin Harvick.
And you think, well, you're on a super speedway, you don't need brakes, you don't use brakes. Let me tell you, yes, you do, because there's times when you have a big run, just like Kevin Harvick does to the rear bumper of Chase Elliott. Yeah, you can lift the throttle, but sometimes you got to use those brakes, and of course you need a lot of brakes to get into pit road.
And the Penske parade in the middle lane is now Blaney, Keselowski, then Ryan Preece before Joey Logano.
A lot of sparks flying out of that 9 of Chase Elliott. That car's really down. Dragging the racetrack.
Here's Logano up the outside, trying to join his teammates, the 12 and the 2.
He just cannot hold those Penske Fords back. They find their way to the front.
Kevin Harvick right up at the front behind Chase Elliott. The number 4's average running position today has been 20th, and here he is right up front for the lead.
He's beating the camera off the rear bumper of that car. Here comes Denny Hamlin to the middle lane. But Joey Logano with a big push from William Byron to the outside. Ooh, Denny Hamlin gets a little bit loose right there. Remember, they were making some adjustments on one of those pit stops to the 11 machine. I don't know if they were trying to fix the handling or get a little speed in that 11 car, but you saw him get out of shape.
Looks like they might have done both. 59 laps to go at Talladega. Chase Elliott in the lead. Oh, big spin. Chase Elliott, and everybody scatters. Several years ago, they paved that entire backstretch apron at Talladega, and it's a good thing they did.
You see heavy damage to the front end of that car. Then you see, look at the right rear's down. I mean, all the tires down. Big damage. He was running 4th the last time they came by the line.
9 car up on the outside.
Comes a big push from the 2 car, Brad Keselowski. Oh, the 22 of Logano moves up in front of him while he's getting that push from Brad Keselowski. Brad, again, like we talked with Logano earlier, can't see what's in front of him. He's just pushing Chase Elliott. Chase tries to make some evasive action to go around the 22. Those bumpers connect and turns Chase Elliott right around. Here comes Austin Dillon. Makes contact with that right rear than the 9.
Wow, how did William Byron miss him? If that was as close from up high as it looked from here.
So here comes the push to the rear bumper. Chase Elliott. Now he has a huge run coming, and he just, he's got to figure out where to go with it. He doesn't want to run right in the back of the 22. He tried to hedge to the inside at that same time, and that's the problem. When you're getting pushed like that, you really can't turn the steering wheel, and Brad Keselowski's on his rear bumper, and it's going to hook that car and turn it around. You saw that very last little bit of contact. And that's what sent Chase Elliott around as he tried to go to the inside of the 22.
And here's audio from Brad Keselowski.
Nothing I can do. I'm off the gas, getting pushed, man. Yeah, 10-4. That certainly was not your fault there.
And to Brad's credit, you know, he's bringing it up. He's pushing, but he's getting pushed from somebody behind him also.
But Jeff, Brad was off. He came off the throttle, and he actually got on the brake right there, trying to make something not happen there.
We saw how well those Penske Fords orchestrated those restarts. That one did not go so well for Joe Gibbs racing in Levine family racing with a 95 of Christopher Bell. Just came across the nose of Eric Jones. Now we've got a change for the lead up front with Denny Hamlin going side by side with Kevin Harvick.
Well, when Hamlin pancaked that car up against the wall in the early going, thought, well, we're not going to see him again today. Wrong. Stewart Haas on the inside, 3 cars. Harvick, Custer, Almirola line up to try to do what Team Penske did earlier.
Well, they certainly have got themselves in position for it, but they're going to have to battle this guy, Denny Hamlin, Daytona 500 winner, and behind him, Joey Logano. And here comes some Hendrick Chevrolets behind Joey.
Yeah, William Byron and Jimmy Johnson, then Ryan Preece. Henry Powell. Jeff, the Toyotas have been fast by themselves. They've been good pushers, but I haven't seen them link up together very much today.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just, you know, they really started this strategy of working together as a manufacturer and as a team and showing some of the other manufacturers how to get it done. But today, we have not seen those Toyotas be able, either by choice or just it hasn't worked out to be able to get them connected.
All right, Christopher Bell has been posted by NASCAR. Note the double yellow line on the inside of the track. You cannot go down there to pass, and you cannot force another car below the yellow line, or NASCAR may take action, and that's what happens on this restart.
Or does he change lane? No, he doesn't change lanes before the start-finish line. Okay, so he goes down there.
And for forcing Jones below the yellow line, Bell gets a penalty.
And I agree with that. They don't call that very often, but I do agree with that.
Larry, correct me. I believe that'll be a drive-through, a pass-through penalty down pit road.
It will be a pass-through penalty. They won't have to stop, but they're going to be on borderline going a lap down.
Busch with the big issue.
Went to the top of the racetrack as if perhaps a tire issue. And drops toward the back.
Is it the left rear maybe down? Kyle Busch is in that third lane. The car gets really loose on him. Almost makes contact with the outside wall, but I really believe this is a tire down.
Vince?
Kyle had some contact coming to pit road for that last stop when he came in and topped off, and they were concerned it was going to create a tire rub. They thought maybe they had escaped that. Evidently had not, and he's got to come back.
Hard to say. He's moving around. Oh, you can see right rear tire, I believe, is down, and there's some smoke there.
So Logano is your leader over Hamlin, Harvick, and Byron, the first car on the outside. William Byron has our fastest lap of the day, 201.22 miles per hour. Kyle Busch has safely made it to pit road.
Mike, that was with efforts from NASCAR to slow these cars down with a smaller tapered spacer.
And Jeff, that seems to have worked. Only 3 drivers today have turned a lap in excess of 200 miles an hour.
And that was the goal.
William Byron started out racing on his computer. Told his dad he wanted to try it for real. and Bill put him in a Legends car at Summer Shootout at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and then he quickly vaulted through NASCAR's K&N Series, Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and now he's a Cup driver with Hendrick Motorsports.
Mike, right now this is as real as it gets. He's got some of the best on the super speedways right behind him: Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick. Wow, you know, imagine the adrenaline flowing inside the body of William Byron right now. He has a win earlier in the year at Daytona in a qualifying race on a super speedway and an Xfinity at Daytona. But right now he's trying to close in on his first win in the Cup Series.
Meanwhile, Bubba Wallace is still trying to make that outside lane work, Jamie.
He won't give up, running 6th right now. They're telling him, though, everybody's talking about fuel, but the 43, they're saying, Bubba, we are about 4 laps short at this point. So, Jeff, as a driver, what can you do to save fuel when you got clear track ahead and you got a freight train behind you?
Well, I can promise you right now, Bubba Wallace isn't saving any fuel whatsoever. He's using more than anybody, if anything. But you can't save 6 laps. I mean, that is just way too far to go. And that's going to be impossible. They're really hoping that a caution or something comes out before they have to come down pit road number 3.
Yeah, Jeff, the ones that I would feel a little better about would be 2 of the guys at the front, William Byron in the 24, Joey Logano in the 22. Remember, they came back and topped off with 1 to go under that last caution. But I'm looking at the fuel flow numbers right now. They're just going to be just right there. A lot depends on how much they can roll out of the throttle and save a little bit of fuel. But as you know, being at the front a lot in that 24 car, it's hard to roll out when you're leading the pack around.
All right, Vince has more.
Yeah, and same can be said for Joey Logano in that 22, as Logano just told him hard to save fuel because they told him he needs to save 2 to 3 laps, or he's 2 to 3 laps short. And Joey said it's going to be hard to save it. And the 11 of Chris Gabehart, the crew chief, told Denny Hamlin, do the same. Don't let it influence your decisions, but save me some if you can.
Bubba Wallace with a big push to Denny Hamlin. He gets out to the lead. Oh, the 24 gets loose from a push from Joey Logano. Now he gets shuffled to the middle lane, going to go backwards here.
Tough break for Byron, and I think, Jeff, most of that pack was content to let him lead. It might have allowed them to save a little gas as Bubba Wallace guns it from the inside with Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick.
See if Bubba Wallace can handle that aggressive push from Joey Logano. This is that point where you just put that car right on the yellow line, hold that steering wheel steady as you can, and take every one of those shoves and pushes coming from Joey Logano behind you and hold on tight. Bubba Wallace looking up in his mirror to see when that push is coming, trying desperately to hold that wheel steady. Boy, they've really broken away. And that gap's going to close back up, but oh, Joey's going to try to go to the outside, uses Ford teammate and Kevin Harvick.
Well-timed move because that outside lane had a run. And Logano timed it perfectly.
When I talked about them breaking away, and that's the fear. When you get too far out, you lose that momentum, and when that run comes, it's really hard to block it.
So Logano, Harvick, Hamlin. Then Bubba Wallace, Jimmy Johnson on the inside. On the outside, Ryan Preece, Alex Bowman. 2 of the Camaros trying to make something happen here. Alex Bowman has been out front here. We listened in.
Made up a L inside of Steve. That's really the only thing we can do. The only problem is that you can't give it up the lead. I thought when we popped off we were okay. Yeah, we were. At the average we're getting when we were mid-pack. When you get in front, The problem is it goes down 1/10.5 and you lose 2 laps.
There you go, Crew Chief Greg Ives giving Alex Bowman that information. And I mean, there's the story. That tells you everything you need to know right there, that, you know, mid-pack, you're just not using as much fuel because you're not full throttle. You're having to lift off the throttle to be able to maintain the speed and the line and the draft that you're in. But when you're out front, it's wide open the whole time.
And that's why Ryan Blaney is currently 14th. Oh, one car, Christopher Bell. Down off the track. That bright day-glow green car, that is Blaney. He's led the most laps today, but he's riding in the pack, Larry, trying to save fuel.
Well, another car I'm starting to watch is Eric Almirola in the 10 car. He's back in 17th. He's right about a second behind the lead. There you see him in that 10 car. He is never getting more than 50% throttle right now, so he looks about in the best shape of anyone, again, aside from Martin Truex Jr. in the 19.
15 laps to go. Look at that, 3/4 throttle, half throttle for Almirola. That's Ty Dillon doing much the same. And there's Almirola half throttling it.
You can see as that gap increases to the car in front of him, you go to full throttle. But as long as somebody's behind you and there's a car in front of you and that many cars in front of you, you can run half throttle like this and save a lot of fuel.
Well, it's a strange strategy, Jeff, where you don't want to lead at Talladega.
This is true. All day long we've been seeing how much they've been fighting for the lead. Now they're trying to fight to save fuel. Of course, these two guys have been going at it. Big shoves coming from Denny Hamlin to the rear bumper. That 8 car of Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace there in 3rd position.
Ricky Stenhouse in 10th has been told he is good on fuel to the finish.
But is he good for the green-white checkered if that happens?
I don't know if anybody's good for that.
Alex Bowman, second here last year, and during the time we were away for COVID-19, he won an iRace on Fox at Talladega. Vince.
The 22 of Joey Logano, they are short. They told him, you got to save. We can race with 5 to go, but only if you can save me some gas. Paul Wolf, the crew chief, indicating there's still a couple of laps short.
I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how difficult it is to save 2 laps here, right? That's over 5 miles. And you certainly aren't going to do it if you're leading that pack, which Joey Logano is in that outside lane. Tyler Reddick on the inside lane. Yeah, if you're Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ty Dillon, we showed some of those guys that can run half throttle and ride in this pack. They can save a lot of fuel.
So how does this happen? Larry, I think it speaks to the timing of the last caution flag and when everybody last had an opportunity to pit under yellow.
Yeah, I mean, it came right there, and everyone pitted with about 45 laps to go. Now, some came back and pitted with 43 to go, and it was just right there on the threshold of the fuel window.
How about Brad Keselowski in car number 2 on fuel?
Not been saving, you're going to start saving, so just so you know. So I can make it on fuel now? We're really close. If you want to save for like 2 more laps and then go, that's probably a good idea, but we should be really close right here.
It's time to go for Ryan Blaney, Eric Almirola. Those guys have been back there saving fuel. They're ready to go.
It's like the alarm clock went off, Jeff, and here they come.
The dinner bell.
Yeah. The trophy bell.
There's Eric Jones on pit road.
As we expected, he would be the first of those lead cars to pit. And there's Blaney right behind Preece and Logano. 7 to go.
Stenhouse, another one of those, been saving fuel. Good to go. He's in that outside lane. So he had a little bit of damage to the rear bumper on that car.
Tyler Reddick trying to become the 12th driver in the history of Talladega to score his first career victory here.
But does he have enough fuel being out there and out front?
Yeah, Mike, Jeff, I only see Tyler Reddick being able to run 3, maybe at most 4 more laps.
And here comes Blaney. Gosh, that car is so strong.
And I just don't think Joey Logano can do anything about it, because right now he is trying to save fuel also.
And Almirola, who Jeff talked to at the top of the day and is known as a really good racer at Daytona and Talladega. He's leading the outside lane.
Now, is the 12 of Blaney going to work with Almirola because he feels like he can make it to the end, or his teammate Joey Logano that we feel like is short on fuel?
Logano backing up in the middle. With Preece in that group. Here's Stenhouse.
Oh, Stenhouse to the inside. It's going to make it 4 wide.
Of course he is. It's what he does. It's what a Stenhouse does, right? That blue Red Roof 47 now tucks in behind Ryan Blaney.
To the delight of Ryan Blaney, because we've seen just how good that 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., how fast that car is and how good of a pusher he is.
Brad Keselowski coming on the outside. See if he can make it back up to his Penske teammates. And Ryan Newman pushing Keselowski up top in that green car.
As they go 4 wide through the tri-oval.
Guys, we have some cars out there, some drivers, they are on fumes. I've got to believe we're going to see some hitting pit road this next time around.
Big push coming from Ricky Stenhouse Jr. The 12. Here they come to the lead.
Bump, bump, and run. Blaney, Stenhouse, now Bowman and Jimmy Johnson. Denny Hamlin may be out of fuel.
I think a bunch of these guys further back are going to be out of fuel here very soon if they don't get to pit road. But these guys up front, I think they can make it. They've been saving enough fuel. Jimmy Johnson getting to the corner pound on Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Here comes the 7-time series champ up the outside.
Oh, Kevin Harvick to the inside, turns Johnson. Caution. It just looked to me like Jimmy had a big run. Thought Kevin Harvick was going to stay with him, and Kevin Harvick thought twice about that and decided to go to the inside of Jimmy Johnson. They make contact.
And just when you could start to hope that Jimmy Johnson was on the verge of breaking that long winless streak and getting a victory in his final season, after winning 7 championships, he goes around.
So here goes Jimmy to the outside of the 47 of Stenhouse through the tri-oval. Side drafts. Now here comes a pretty big run from Kevin Harvick being pushed by the 17. And Kevin just decides to take, there's a small gap there between Stenhouse and Jimmy Johnson. He had such a big run. He chose to go to that middle lane. Not sure if there was enough room there, just closed up on him in a hurry.
Green flag.
Stenhouse doesn't get going on the restart. That's going to allow Kevin Harvick, Chris Buescher, Brad Keselowski on the outside to pull ahead.
Not good for Blaney.
Kind of wonder, did that 47 bobble there because of being low on fuel?
Now, Blaney has some help. But is it too late?
Well, he's got a lot of help. 47 is wound up. That Camaro of the 47 of Stenhouse locked onto the rear bumper of Ryan Blaney. He's going to move up, though, to try to pick up the 10 of Almirola.
And the closer, Mr. Where did he come from? Kevin Harvick is in the lead. Don't look way back. They're 4 wide.
Can we get the one to go?
White flag.
There it is.
Stenhouse leaving the second lane, going nowhere. It is Harvick and Chris Buescher.
Watch this run that Ty Dillon might be able to give to Ryan Blaney to give him a big run.
Nope, Ty goes underneath. Blaney pokes out. Stenhouse is with him. Harvick got away from Buescher. But up front, they're racing for the win. The crash is in the back, and Blaney is the leader. Stenhouse comes back to him on the bottom. Off turn 4, 3 wide.
Not over yet. Here comes Eric Jones.
Nemechek trying to push Jones. Eric Jones with help. Here comes Almirola. Crash into the wall. I think it's Stenhouse. It might be Blaney.
Oh my goodness. They were what, 3-4 wide? Slamming and banging. Almirola spun out, but he's in 3rd position at the line.
Great job there, Josh. Way to stay calm, collected.
Scoring unofficial and under review. And Ryan Blaney wins Talladega. What a wild finish.
Now Ryan Blaney was able to side draft, get that run, get to the inside of the 4. Here comes a huge run. John Hunter Nemechek to the rear bumper of Eric Jones, just shoving him to Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney goes from the top all the way to the bottom to try to block that run. More contact. Man, Stenhouse was so close to pulling ahead of Blaney.
Wow.
And look at the 10 car spinning as he backs up
at the line. How about that?
Just trying to block, just trying to block the best we could and block the top, block the bottom. And 20 got to my outside, and I tried to go up there to slow him down. And I'm not sure if I don't know if 3 wide. I hit him, but just kind of trying to beat and bang the line and things like that. But just edged it out. But really proud of this whole Menards Sylvania Ford Mustang team, man. It's been a cool year so far, and really excited to get our first win of the year at a cool place. Thank you everybody for coming. I appreciate it and sticking around. So that was a lot of fun.
What's it like when you have to save the fuel? You know you're so close on fuel. You've got to be patient, yet you want to go.
Yeah, we were riding, there. We came back in and got topped off, and we were just riding around till maybe 12 to go, and I was waiting for Kevin to kind of go, but he had to save more than I did, so we just kind of had to get going, and but yeah, you're just biding your time. You're hoping that you saved enough, and there's enough information in there nowadays where you do save enough. But like I said, proud of this group, man. Just a lot of fun. Like I said, thank you everybody for coming out. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And Bubba, what a run for you today. Led the field. How do you describe just today, this moment?
This is probably the most badass moment right here. It's been tough. It's been hell. Really, I wouldn't say hell. It's just been hectic, carrying his weight and carrying his burden. I wouldn't really say burden either. I'm proud to stand where I'm at and carry a new face. Look at this. First times right here from Atlanta. That is so cool. The sport is changing. The deal that happened yesterday, sorry I'm not wearing my mask, but I wanted to show whoever it was that you're not going to take away my smile. And I'm going to keep on going. I've been a part of this sport for a really long time. Still kind of a rookie, starting to figure this plate stuff out. We had a good race going today in our Victory Junction Chevrolet, but man, I know I should have won that damn race. We ran out of gas. Just the stars didn't align for us completely, but all in all, we won today. The pre-race deal. The pre-race deal was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to witness in my life. From all the supporters, from drivers, from crew members, everybody here, the badass fan base. Thank you guys for coming out here. This is truly incredible, and I'm proud to be a part of this sport, Jamie. Like I said earlier, I got a long way to go, and we'll keep on trucking. Another top 15 for us. We'll take it, and we'll just go on to Pocono, right? Okay, Pocono. So, hey, I'm still smiling. Long week ahead of me, probably a couple weeks, probably a couple months. Courtney's going to lay some interviews on me, so I'll be ready for Pocono, though.
Thanks, Bubba. Well done.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.